according to Paul, those bodies which are resurrected become spiritual bodies. A body goes into the ground, it is sown as a physical body. It rises as a spiritual body. It rises as a spiritual body. Who says this? Not me, Paul. And here he doesn't contradict Jesus, by the way. Here he agrees with Jesus, because Jesus said in Luke chapter 20 verse 27, when the Jews came to him with a question, they said, tell us, teacher, tell us about the woman whose 7 husbands died. Whose 7 husbands, this woman had 7 husbands. They're asking Jesus, this woman had 7 husbands and all of them died. Right? And now she also died. On the resurrection day, who shall have this woman? Who shall be with her? Because she had 7 husbands. Now which of these 7 husbands are they going to fight over her? Which one will have her on the resurrection day? So Jesus said in response, the people of this age, they marry and are given in marriage. But those who are worthy of taking part in that age and being from the resurrected of the dead, they shall neither marry nor be given in marriage, for they shall be same like the angels. They shall be like angels. In other words, when a person dies and is resurrected, he is like an angel. According to Jesus, he is spiritual. He is spiritual. All right. Now, was Jesus a spiritual body? After he supposedly died on the cross, according to most, after he supposedly died on the cross, was he a spiritual body? Or was he a physical body? If he is a spiritual body, then I agree he died. But if he is a physical body, after he was put on the cross, then he couldn't have died. He couldn't have died. According to him, the resurrected body must be spiritual. According to Paul, the resurrected body is not a natural body, it's a spiritual body. Now what does Jesus say in Luke chapter 24 verse 36? He appears before his disciples after his supposed death. After his supposed death. And when he appears before them, they are terrified and they are affrighted. And they suppose that they see a spirit. They see Jesus and they start shaking. All these 12 strong men, they start to shake. They start to shiver. Hey, this is Jesus. But we heard that he died. Now they think that they see, the Bible states, they suppose that they saw a spirit. But then Jesus said to them, why do thoughts enter your hearts? Why are you troubled? That it is I myself. Behold my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. For a spirit has no flesh and bones as you see me have. So Jesus was not a spirit. He was physical body. He was in a physical form. Therefore he did not die. He never died. Behold my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. For a spirit has no flesh and bones as I have. So if Jesus has flesh and bones, he shows them his hands and his feet, they believed not for joy and wondered. And he asked them for a piece of a broiled fish and a honeycomb. He asked them for a piece of a broiled fish and he asked them, have you here any meat? And they gave him a piece of a broiled fish and a honeycomb. And he took it and chewed it before them to prove what? That he was a physical body, that he got hungry, that he was a human being. He did not die on the cross. There are many other proofs that one can give that Jesus did not die on the cross. But this is a separate topic on its own. Maybe we can do this on another time. We can discuss this topic extensively.
Abu, it's been a long night. You're going to sleep well tonight, I think. Thank you for your presentation. My questions are twofold. First of all, you confidently said that all of the Qurans that we will find throughout the world, no matter what country we go to, they will be exactly the same. Would you say that the Bibles used by the Shiites and the Sunnis, for the Quran, the Quran used by the Shiites and the Sunnis are exactly the same? And then my second fold question would be, is there freedom of religion in Islam? I've been to many countries where churches are forbidden. It's against the law to start a church or to be a Christian. How would you answer that question in light of Surah 2, ayah 256.
Quran of the Sunnis and the Shias is exactly the same. We have 12 million people approximately throughout the world today who have memorized the Quran. Among them are Shias, and the Quran is exactly the same. No difference, sir. You go to Iraq, take the Quran here, go to Iraq, go to a Shia mosque, it's exactly the same. We have one Quran. Secondly, the question was, why some places in the world they don't allow churches? Well, this is a very big topic we can go through. Why are churches not allowed in maybe Saudi Arabia, for example? Well, firstly, I am not responsible for what Saudi Arabia does, because Saudi Arabia does so many things which are not according to the Quran, and they do many things which are according to the Quran. So I cannot answer for certain Muslims. You must remember that Muslims out there, some of them may not be following the guidelines of the Quran, but the guideline of the Quran. And whenever I tell the Christians, go back to the Bible, I tell the Muslims, go back to the Quran. And the Quran says that there is no compulsion in religion. Truth stands out clear from falsehood. Therefore, those Muslims who are not allowing Christians who live there to worship God in their churches, they are going against the Quran, because it's not the teaching of the Quran. So I must assure you that I know that many Muslim countries, there are many churches. And in Egypt, there are 14 million Coptic Christians. So there they have plenty of churches. And in fact, the government is supportive of that in many issues, in many cases, the previous government. So this is not basically, this is something which we can actually debate over a very long period of time. But the fact is, we must stick by the morals of the Quran, the teachings of the Quran. We hold on to the Quran. As the Quran says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. Hold on to the rope of God tightly. وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. And be not divided. Hold on to the Quranic teaching. Hold on to the principle of the Quran and follow the truth. So this is the teaching of the Quran. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That is an end to the questions this evening. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for being a disciplined and audience and making my job really simple. I'd like to thank Moulana for the time, the effort in putting together this presentation. I'd like to thank the IPCI and the Akoo family for really the sterling effort and for hosting us this evening and putting together what has been a very interesting evening. I'm going to ask Hafiz Firi to commence with the Quran. In final closing then, I'd also extend a warm welcome to the Christians to discuss, have this as the first stepping stone to a greater opportunity to have these types of discussions as between ourselves. Our opportunity is to come to commonality between the two religions, and with the grace of God, inshallah, we'll be on the same page regarding everything else.
Brothers and sisters, respected elders, I was asked by my elder brother to make one announcement that any brothers, any sisters, anyone who agrees with what was said, who agrees that the message is clear, that we worship one God, that we submit ourselves only to one God, please raise your hands. Whoever agrees with this message among the non-Muslims, I'm here referring to the non-Muslims. The Muslims are majority here. I expected actually a much bigger crowd of non-Muslims, but maybe inshallah the next time